Hello, grade 7 students. Good morning. Geography, Chapter 5, Water. In the previous classes, we learnt about terrarium, distribution of water bodies, ocean circulation, tsunami, the earth's pandemonium, tides. There are two types of tides. One is neap tide and the other is the spring tides. We know very well tides are caused due to the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon on the water. So, the gravitation force of the moon and the gravitational force of the sun both act upon the water on the earth. So, what is going to happen? We shall see. The rise in water level is called high tide. So, we know that one as it pulls, the sun is pulling the water towards it. So, the height of the water level will increase. That is called high tide. And while it is falling, it is called low tide. So, when it moves towards the sun, the height of the waves will increase, tides will increase. That is called high tide, and the water will fall again back to the same place. It is called low tide. During the new moon and the full moon phases, when the sun, earth and the moon are in one line. So we know that one, that in the new moon, we see that sun, earth and the moon, they will be in one line. They are forming high tides, and the tides are higher and low tides are lower. So during the full moon time, we see that new moon time, we see that the tides are higher and lower. These tides on full moon and new moon days are called spring tides. So we know that one very well. Dear children, look at this picture. We know the positions of the moon around the earth. So this revolution around the earth causes the high tide and the low tides. Dear students, look at this picture now. We see the moon. We can see the first quarter, and we see here second quarter. We can see the this side, and third quarter. Okay, we see that's one fourth quarter, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter and fourth quarter. So what else you are going to learn? We learn that the full moon and the new moon, on these days there arises the spring tides. What is the spring tides? You know that one, during the first quarter and the last quarter, first quarter and the last quarter, the phases of the moon, when the sun, the earth and the moon are in right angle. You see this posture. You see this one, the sun, this side is the sun. So first quarter you see here. Okay, you see like this. You can see it is in right angle. First quarter moon, earth and sun. So we see this one, it is in right angles. And the tides are not so high as on spring tides. If it is in right angle posture, the tides will not be not high. And we can see that one, it is called neap tide. It is called neap tide. And we see this one. On the new moon, we see here earth, moon and the sun. They are in the straight line. Earth, in the middle there is moon, and we see here sun. So they are in straight line. Just have a glance, children. During the spring tide, we can see the tides are low tide, and we see the moon, earth and the sun, they are in the straight line. Okay, during the moon, new moon, we can see sun, Earth, moon and the earth, they are in the straight line. During the full moon, we see the sun, earth and the full moon. The earth will be in the middle, so we will be having full moon. And we see this is spring tides, and we see the neap tide. The last quarter moon will be here, and we see it is in high tide. And we see here, children, the earth is here and the sun is there, so it is in right angle posture, so it is called the neap tide. It is called the neap tide. And we see here the first quarter, we see here moon, earth and sun, they are in the right angle, so it is having the neap tide. Look at this map, children. From this map we can see the landmarks, the continents and the oceans we see. And what is this arrow marks? We don't understand, no? Yes, you don't understand. What it is called? It is called current. The movement, the direction of the currents that is passing. It is not electric current. It is the current that is occurring in the ocean. Ocean currents are streams of water flowing constantly on the ocean surface in a definite direction. So this is a definite direction. It is a stream of water flowing. Okay. It is a stream of water flowing in a different direction. The ocean currents may be warm or cold. So this arrow mark, the water that is flowing constantly, it will be warmer and sometimes it will be colder. Generally, the warm ocean currents originate near the equator. We know this is the equator. So the warm current, ocean current, is created near the equator, and it moves towards the poles. So we know that there is northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. From the equator, it moves towards the poles. The warmer current, ocean current, moves towards the poles, and below the equator, that is in the southern hemisphere, we see the currents also move, warmer current move towards the poles. So from equator to north pole, from equator to south pole, the waters are moving. That is called warm current. The cold currents carry water from polar or higher latitudes to tropical or lower latitudes. So from polar region comes the cold current towards the middle, that is the lower latitudes. The Labrador ocean current is a cold current, while the Gulf Stream is warm current. We can see here Gulf Stream. Okay, see in your book, children. What you must understand? Gulf Stream is the warm current. And we must know this warm current brings out warm temperature over land surface. So this warm current brings a warm temperature over land surface. The areas where warm and cold current meet provide best fishing grounds. So where is the cold current and the warm current meeting? That place we are getting plenty of fish in the world. The best place to have the good fishing places are Japan. Where is Japan? We must know here is the Japan. So it is the best place for catching fish. And then we can see the North America coast. So Japan coast and North America coast, they are good place for fishing grounds. And a place where the warm and the cold current meet also experience foggy weather, making it difficult for navigation. So where are the warm current and the cold current meeting, in that place ships cannot move freely. It is not good for shipping. Okay. The ship transport will be affected because of the foggy weather. And we can see here the Labrador current. We can see here Labrador current. And we can see the various factors that cause ocean currents are the rotation of the earth. So one of the important cause for the ocean current is rotation of the earth. Difference in temperatures. So we are having 3 zones in the northern hemisphere and 3 zones in the eastern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. That is the torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. So the 3 types of zones are having 3 different temperature. And we know the salinity of ocean water. What is the salinity of ocean water? We know the saltiness of the density of the quantity of the salt in the ocean water. That is also one cause for the ocean currents. And planetary winds. We know that atmosphere, the air is blowing from place to place. The wind is blowing from place to place. So there are winds blowing all around the earth. And the shape of the land masses, we can see here different land masses here. The shapes of the land mass are different. So this is also one of the reason for having the ocean currents. I hope children you all understand what is ocean current. So the various factors that cause ocean currents are rotation of the earth, difference in temperatures and salinity of ocean water, planetary winds and the shape of the land masses. So with this the 5th lesson water is completed children. Thank you.